Whoops, it's so big, it's so heavy, I can't,
There's a lot
I
of
can't
pages.
control it. But it is our new summer 2019 lookbook, which I'm really excited to go over with you, and I know that some of the design team members are also watching.
I hope they're watching, because, yeah,
it's so great to have everybody.
They deserve a lot of credit.
For sure. I'm going to make sure I've got all the screens up and make sure that I can see all of you guys. Yep, there we are. I can see us. Janice is moderating over on our Facebook page, and I know that we will have Gita coming up shortly on our Facebook page. Let me just make sure, every time it's like a new day that I get this going. There we go. I think I'm up.
I've managed to find it.
Or is that is that the old
the
one
test?
or the new one? I don't know. It could be the test.
Probably.
I think it is. Grandma, get that going. So I can see you guys. There we go. But if you guys have not downloaded this or found the lookbook yet, you can find everything on our website at beadshop.com, including this marvelous lookbook that's here. There we go. Now I can see everybody. It's great. I've got all of you all.
Yes,
so if you go to Bead Shop and you go to our homepage, if you scroll, there's a couple of places that you guys will be able to find it. But if you go to our website and right up under projects, right on the top bar, you scroll down and our whole lookbook collection is there. So you have done, this is your third set. How many? What day is this?
This is the fourth. This is actually the fourth one.
It is the fourth,
yes.
Right? Because you did
too.
the monthly mix wrap bracelets.
bracelets.
You did the first design team lookbook
Right.
when everyone came on board. You've done the group
Tassels.
challenge, the beaded tassels, which some of you who are watching have pieces in from the bead table.
Right.
And then this is Creative Journey Summer 2019. So, wow.
We've been working on this since, April?
Yeah.
Literally. It's been months.
It's so good.
Months in the works.
And we're going to go through, it's huge, so we're going to go through, we've got some pieces here that we're going to look at as well. Of course, we've got Brandon behind the camera, and it's Kate Richburg and the wonderful Allie Morey in front of the camera, and it's great to have all of you guys here. The design team, I'll give you guys a little bit of background, and then Allie, you jump in anytime.
Sure.
We got this idea about the design team. It was almost a year ago.
It's been quite a while. Yeah.
And we chatted a little bit, and we have 4 of our beadshop.com design team members, Allie and Faye and Kim and Danielle. The 4 of you guys have created such amazing pieces you share on the bead table, which is great.
Many of them.
Yes, many of them. And our the bead table is our beadshop.com Facebook kind of fun friend group that's on there. We're closing in on 5,000 members over there.
My goodness,
which is
huge.
Great. It's huge. And so we really appreciate you guys joining us over there. So you'll see a lot of their pieces posted, as well as all the great talent you guys post and share, which is amazing. And then the design team, you guys got your heads together and started creating these amazing lookbooks. So we've got one more that's coming out in the fall.
Yes, there will be one more.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be as large as this, but we'll have some good
good stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take a little bit of a well-earned break, and then we'll be back for 2020.
We'll start all over
Yes, we'll start all over again. And so heartfelt. I mean, I can't even say.
All the team just, I mean, they
To
really
you guys,
put their all into it. And
It's
they're
so good.
They're very excited about it, and they're supportive and really happy to share all of it with.
Well, it's really great. And I just saw Gita popped in. Gita is over on Facebook, moderating as beadshop.com. So when I say that it really does take a village, it takes a village. And someone was asking me the other day, I was actually, this past weekend, I was at a girlfriend's weekend with some of my friends. And they're like, and they know I've been doing beads and beadwork and metalwork and everything for our whole time that we've been friends. And so one of my friends asked me, she goes, Kate, so what are you doing over at beadshop.com? And I said to her, I didn't miss a beat. I said, we are making the world a smaller, friendlier, more creative place, one bead at a time.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And I think you guys have done that with this Creative Journey Lookbook. You guys do that on our bead table, beadshop.com group every day. So thank you so much for this.
So very welcome. We really enjoy it.
It's great. So people are saying, Allie, that we are coordinated. We are indeed. And Brandon, we're going to bring the camera around because we're going to get this show on the road. We're going to start. Many of you have commented about our necklaces. So we're going to start with these, shall we?
We might as well.
They're not included in the lookbook, but I thought, well, let's just do it. This was the Jade Dreams, right? Jade Dreams, I think I called it. Curated kit that I put together with Janice's help. It was really a fun piece. This was something that I had been working on since February of this year. And so many of you guys loved it and grabbed it. And it was really gratifying to see you guys loving this mix so much. And if you've got one, there are 97 or something more of these out there in the world.
And we'd love to see them.
Yes, I really, really want to see them, you guys. So Allie, when she walked through the door this morning, I was like, that's right, that's it. We are going to take a look at this as we start, and Brendan's going to adjust some of the brightness there, so we can get it perfect. Great, so it's nice and bright for you guys. So you can see, Allie and I started with the exact same components out of the kit. Yes. And Allie, did you add anything?
The only one thing I added was this fire polish.
Okay, here. Was that fire polish there?
Yes.
Okay.
Suede
jonquil. Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. And when she came in, this just caught my eye. And there's a piece like this that's in the lookbook. So we are actually, our little demo that we're doing today is we're going to discuss how this goes together. It's very, very easy, but I thought you guys would dig it. And when you posted your original piece in the design table, people went crazy for it too. So
actually, it never got posted in the design on the B table. I wore it to the last.
Wore it. That's right.
Yes.
To the last retreat.
To the last lookbook
tassel. Right.
And
and people
got
were
a lot of love
at
that point.
That's right. So we're gonna share how that one was made. But this really shows you how, when you work with similar palettes or whatever,
and components,
and components, your design personality kind of takes over. Me, I was all about, I gotta get this done. So I spent a lot of time working on this tassel, making this tassel kind of a real focal point of the piece. And what I loved about yours, Allie, is you pulled these yellow facets. I love them so much.
Me too.
And you used you made a little more of a lush tassel and used these guys in the tassel. I love it. And put these bigger guys up and into the piece.
Right.
So there's no wrong answer.
No, it's a different. My neck, it's quite long, so I didn't want my tassel
to be
too long. It would have been hanging down.
And this is a classic Allie Mori move right here.
Right, where you turn things in different orientation. So instead of this straight up and down for the
that
round melon, just turn it to the side. It's just a little different way of using it.
And you grouped these kind of little bits here.
Taking all your strands through. You can do that with the small little beads and give it some heft.
Give it some heft. And you went poetry style on us here.
A little bit.
With kind of the macrame. And I really, when Allie walked in, I said, that's it. I am just cutting mine up because this was my vision right here. I really loved how you added that macrame into these pieces. It really looks great. And I just straight strung mine. Because again, when I was working on mine, I was like, I got to get this thing done and out of my life. Yeah. But it's really, I love how you've added those pieces in. It's really, really
it was a fun project. Definitely fun. A lot of these little pieces I draw from Emily's Craftsman.
Oh, the Craftsman necklace,
components where you add in, wire or beads to, some of the things. So you throw a lot of different things into it.
And I loved the way that you stacked the O beads in the piece. I used them singly throughout. I did stack them in the tassel as you did, but they're really effective
to give the metal part that we needed in there. A little bit of metal.
So good,
It's
really
fun,
great.
Fun project. Beautiful mix of beads. Yes. Gorgeous.
Well, and people are, while we pull these to the side, people are eyeballing that bracelet you're wearing, Allie. You did, and that Karen really jumped in on it. Janice wants to see a close-up of the macrame. So, Brandon, I'm going to put it right there, and you can get in just a little close there. And we'll have Karen, I bet Karen will take a photo of this. Would you like me to undo that for you? So this is a piece, I think I would call this Allie's favorite.
Yes,
you wear this all the time.
It is. I love
which
this
is
one.
great.
It's like Kate's favorite.
This is done with the star cuts, right, in moss agate.
Moss agate.
And look at that closure.
Simple.
And just that one bead with the little accent of the roller bead.
And that's where the splice is.
The splice is underneath. Perfect.
You will. That's kind of a signature thing, is to have those
those little guys there. And this may or may not be one of the buttons I made.
It's the English
for you.
penny.
Yes, the English penny.
Love that one. One of my favorites.
Good. So it's great. Well, let's get into this lookbook. Now, you've got some stories to share, and I would love for the design team to share stories, because I know you guys are watching as well. But this is a 30, how many pages?
34.
34 page.
Actually,
just a little bit, just so we have
okay, great.
Room around
there we go. A 34 page.
Well, 36 with the cover and the
right, with everything. I love it.
Yeah, it's huge.
I love it. And so, what I loved throughout was, number one, there's a little welcome from each of you, from Allie, Faye, Kim, and Danielle. And throughout the book, it's peppered with quotes, which is fantastic. How did this come about? So talk to me a little bit about what happened here.
What
the heck happened?
Yeah, I don't even really know. It just sort of evolved, and I think the bead retreat is called The Journey. So a little play off of that, and then decided that it might be fun to have some inspirational quotes within, just to make it a little different. And so pick the word creative, and we focused on that for quotes.
Oh, that's so great.
And so then it ended up being the creative journey in the
lookbook.
end.
I love it.
The lookbook. And because it was throughout the entire summer, we constantly received new products, and all on the front cover is, you'll notice all the new products. There's some old ones that we used throughout. These
some
were
old
all
favorites.
The things.
Right.
Now the design team was sent similar packages. They were in different colorways.
Right.
Like for the bibs, we all got different bibs.
And you got different kimono cords,
different so that there is a variety, and we were allowed to use them in any way we wanted.
And you guys really did. The majority of the beads that are in these pieces are from beadshop.com.
Yes.
Some are from your stashes, which is great. I know that you guys have your bead stashes as well, so it's great to be able to kind of cherry pick from that as well. And the one, so you started with, this is our Jenny, Maya Angelou is our Jenny's favorite.
Yeah.
And we start out with, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have, which is great.
And that just started it off, because we just got rolling.
Yeah. And just went from there.
And just kept on going. Yeah.
Now, there are quotes peppered, as I said, throughout. I'm going to, I'm actually going to go to the very, very back, because, and I don't know if she's watching or not, but Francesca, I know that you'll be watching this on the replay. Each page has a quote, and at the end, there is a quote from one of our bead table members and one of my fellow instructors. She owns the Makery down in Bulverde, Texas. My dear friend Francesca Watson. Now, how did Francesca's quote make this book, Allie? I just love it so much.
It is an incredible story and a true story. It really did happen. We came up with all of these quotes. Kim helped me. She provided a list, and we thought we had enough to use on each page. I was watching a Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember exactly which one it was. Working on the book, and I was working on this last page, which happened to be one of my necklaces. And I discovered I was out of quotes. I had no more quotes.
The quotes were tapped out.
They were gone.
Done.
So I either had the choice of, just blowing it off and not putting one, or going back on and looking for more quotes. I happened to look up on the screen. I had the live going at the same time, which I never look at the comments. I never watch the comments. It's just too distracting for me. But for some reason, I looked up at the comments, and here was Francesca's quote right smack dab in the middle of the comments.
I love
there
it.
was. So I quickly took a screenshot because it was like too perfect to let fly away.
Right.
And
it's so great.
It was perfect.
So what Francesca shared in the feed, she said, creativity is 10% inspiration and 90% looking for that thing you just had 5 minutes ago.
Which, I thought was very fitting.
It is so true. So thank you, Francesca.
Yes,
I don't see you watching, but I know you'll watch the replay, and I know you join us quite often for our broadcast. So if you want to see more of our dear friend Francesca, you can go right to her website, The Makery. She has wonderful instructors come. I went out there to take a tool making class. It was great. So I just really enjoy her friendship and enjoy that she shares with us here at the Bead Table. So Francesca, you made the book right on Ellie's page. I love it. The book, and we're going to go, we could be here for like 12 hours just examining each piece. So we're going to go through a few, and then you have a big pile of samples that are to your right that we're going to take a look at. But Danielle Wicks, she's one of our Bead Table members, and I know you see Danielle a lot. Danielle, she does a lot of work for different companies. It's great. She works a lot with Tiara cast pieces. We're really, really lucky to have her here. And so, did you guys all work? It looks like there's photos.
There's a few peppered here or there.
Yeah,
we have
throughout.
some fun little stories to go along with, like what inspired her to make this. And so she has a cute little story involving her. You'll see a lot of things revolve around Danielle's boys, who are just adorable, and they really get into the bead, that their mom makes beads and does pieces, and they name things.
It's so great.
So you'll see a lot of little stories like that.
And this piece, I know, really inspired Drea. Drea's on vacation this week. Drea, we hope you're having an amazing vacation and come back soon. No, just kidding. She's taken some pieces to work on her vacation, and this was something that really inspired her, and I know she shared it over on the Bead Table as well. We're going to be working with some of these bibs, but Danielle used these her bib pieces as singles, as focals, and I just love how she just put it right there on that satellite chain. Looks
Simple.
great. Again, that stack, if this is, what is this, the tribal Hishi? It's right here in brass, gorgeous. It's great. And she also used some other rounds, some other beads. It's gorgeous.
Yes, really pretty piece.
We could just stop right here. We'll just stop and just tear apart this picture. But I'm going to keep going, and we'll kind of continue to kind of jump around. This was also with the bibs. This was Faye's, and this is called Pisces at Dusk with Moon Rising. So Faye, such a great Such a great name from her. And I love this photo, how it looks so you can see how it's on.
Well, I really like that.
Yeah.
Wearable photo.
It's great. And I think that her quote here, in the end, creativity isn't just the things we choose to put in, it's the things we choose to leave out.
So perfect.
What a sage bit of advice from Faye. Because I often have this issue. I want to throw everything.
Too many things.
Yeah. And so I need to look
too.
at what I need to pull out.
Right.
So it was great. It was really good. Yes, Gia said, "Oh, the fish." This was from our bead shop. Yes, our beadshop.com trunk show we had. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a little bit of a secret. We're going to be having not these specific pieces, but we're going to be getting. We're going to have a limited edition thing coming up on the website. So next month or so,
all right.
You're going to see a limited edition curated by Kate and Janice section. So it's going to be fun. The fish, I don't think, is anywhere to be found anymore. But we've got some cool stuff. Some cool stuff coming up.
Good.
This is the bib that Kim did, the Modern Warrior. And I feel a real affinity for this one. I love it. And Kim made a tutorial for this.
She did.
So I'm going to do this on a Bead Shop Live.
Perfect.
Because I think it'll be really fun.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it really is pretty.
And she used the Impression Jasper and Bronzite bib. So this is coming up, so you guys hang tight. You'll be seeing this there. And this, Ellie, is your tribal collar.
Right.
It's great. And I thought we looked at this.
This one I think got on the blog at one point because
you have the actual piece
and
there.
I actually have both of them. I'm always looking to spread things out and do things on a budget. And so it kind of shows how you can make two necklaces
right out of
one.
Yeah.
It may not happen.
No, that's the bane of my existence. All of my.
It may not happen. Okay. Oops. Sorry.
Look at this piece, you guys.
And this was fun because what you can do with these is just use up scraps and bead soup. You know.
Yeah.
That's all.
And these little, we've been, kind of on a love affair with the tassel lately. And Brandon, I don't know if you can get really tight on this. Look at, this is the big oval jump ring, that textured oval.
Yes.
That you
love
put,
those.
You put 8/0 on that side.
I always do. They just feel like they need something,
So clever. So it adds a little bit of oomph to it.
It also keeps it from opening.
Opening.
You can actually glue an 8 over the
over the join.
Yeah, I've done
That's
that
also
too.
smart.
Yeah.
And this is the coil spacer, and you use it kind of also like a jump ring, like a soldered ring.
Love those.
This would make a fantastic earring.
Earrings, perfect.
This I think is our troika chain, right?
Just take it apart.
Yep,
I love
taking
stuff apart.
You didn't even have to put holes in it. The holes are already there, and you just put the rings right through and just dangled them. I love it. And then repeating, making the back look as amazing as the front. We have your friend and mine.
Love that clasp.
This little clasp. And another one there. So really just gorgeous. I love this piece. And the bibs, I love the bibs. I know that people either love or hate the bibs, but I'm on the I love them train. And so
they look great on.
I think really they do. And I think that they're kind of a I don't know, kind of a statement piece that
very much.
That makes you that lends its statement pretty easily. And like the one that I have, I've just strung and I hardly have done anything else to it. So, but I love how you did the macrame here, tassels down there.
And just leftover things, parts of chain, just hit or miss charms, whatever.
Yeah.
You really don't have to plan out this whole thing. You can just use things you have laying around.
Yeah. And I know you guys have stashes, so getting a new kind of say something piece like these bibs, and then just diving into your bead stashes.
And I mean, you could even divide it up into 3 pieces if you really wanted to do that. There's enough of these stones.
Right, the stones that you could break them up. Well, this is great. I love that those are there. So there's the bibs. So let's, I'll hand you this little beauty. This was with the kimono cord. Yeah, and the kimono cord is just grand. And we've added 2 new colors of the kimono cords. We have a purple and we have a green, I think is what we added. So they're on there. They're on beadshop.com. Kimono cord was an old school product that we loved and used, and Janice's first video on YouTube was using this kimono cord, which is great. So we brought it back because we loved them so much. And yes, to answer Michelle's question, Michelle, the one that we just showed, that is leather. Allie used leather to make the tassel on that one. And so this is just a simple, I love what Danielle did here. I sent everyone these drops because drops, I think, can stump people.
Yes. Yes, they did me. They did me until I finally figured it out. But yeah, they do.
You're like, come on.
But look what she did. I mean, it's great.
They're really good. And so she laddered. I think this is a little laddered portion.
Yeah.
And you can see on this side, she just laddered those drops right in. So they just stick right out. And then this is just laddered. She laddered through this kimono cord. And then it wraps around.
Yeah.
It's really charming.
Simple,
I love it.
Different.
Yeah,
really
good.
Really, really different.
And so the kimono cords, you can see, Faye did this one, this hiwa, I believe, and she used the English cuts. And what the note from Faye is that hiwa is an old Japanese Korean word used to express peace, tranquility, and harmony. We love that. I love it. And she used her kimono cord as the chain for this. Beautiful, beautiful dangle. And she also did a very similar kind of action, putting that regular seal-on around the thread, around the disc. So we're going to show you guys that. Okay. Let's take a look with this one. Unique. So good. Kim did, this one's called Haiku. And Kim, I think you're watching. I think she netted this.
She did. It is a netting. It's exactly. She tried 2 or 3 different ways and kept taking it apart and finally ended up with this. And
it looks great.
Wow.
Yeah. And she used the butterfly in rose quartz, and she used that as her closure.
Yes, that is her button closure.
Yeah. It's really good. Such good. This colorway is so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
It's very pink.
It is gorgeous.
And orange. You know, I mean, it's too
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And here is, I love what you did here.
So
the Road to Happiness.
This one was really fun and really simple to make. So simple. And it's so lightweight, too.
It is. And this one, I'll push this up, called The Road to Happiness. And this is, you said it's designed in the Shambhala.
Shambhala style, you know, I've never really made a Shambhala, but I know it's just that where you take the cord around, the large bead, macrame, another one. So it just reminded me of that.
I love it.
That was the thing.
And this, the seal-on that you used is the hyacinth.
Hyacinth, right. The color was perfect with the kimono cord.
Right.
Worked out really well. I used the large hole beads.
The large hole beads so that they go through. And, you know, when I intentionally, Allie Maury, put the orange one in your bag because I was like, oh, here you go, Allie. Jump in with that one. Here you go. Figure that one out. There you go. But it's really good. And you use this this daisy button, the vitriol daisy. We have things that are similar to this, and we're bringing in some new buttons. This button, I hope they get it back in. I've been stalking to try to get it back. But we have other things in the vitriols. The check glass buttons that we carry, you guys, just so you know, don't always, number one, last number 2 come back in.
Come back.
So, but we have other wonderful buttons that are coming that you can make a substitution
Well,
with.
even
So
the plain
never fret.
blue one would be fine.
Would be beautiful.
Yeah. But the clear.
Yeah, they'd be just
you know,
gorgeous.
you could do
Yeah.
a lot of
But that one was that one. It's a
yeah,
really
no,
good
that
one.
button was perfect.
And I love how you
Oh.
attached the chain here.
Yes.
To
That
this
was
guy.
another little trick because
Mhm.
I get frustrated sometimes when I put charms on my bracelets because
Mhm.
they don't always lay the right way.
Right, and they don't have movement.
And they don't have movement. And if you loop it on a chain, it can kind of flip around,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It looks great. I love
Yeah.
it. So let's Kaleidoscope wrap from your monthly mix
Monthly
called
mix.
Kaleidoscope.
Right.
Just gorgeous.
Space.
Really fun way of just kind of sorting these out, breaking them up. And she, Faye actually provided
Yes.
the art inspiration.
She did.
For this, for your monthly mix. So it's kind of fun to see what she created with it. So really beautiful work on that, Ms. Faye. Gorgeous. And then this was Kim's from Allie's monthly mix. And so this really caught my eye when I was looking through this. And so what Kim said, play with patterns and colors. You never know what you'll come up with. She uses the grid on her mini macrame board to test
Who
different
knew?
ideas out. So clever. I love it. And I love that, that zigzag with the super duo. And this, it's really
Yeah,
charming.
She did
Kim.
zigzags all the way through.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I really love
Really
it.
pretty.
Very pretty. And I know that some of you have seen, some of the monthly mixes are back in stock. We brought some old favorites back in. So as of right now, this moment, they're in. We're going to keep them in stock for a bit, but we'll be bringing some of our other monthly mix old favorites back. So keep an eye out for Allie's Kaleidoscope. You may see it again.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You never know, but it was good. Spring Tribal, Danielle and her brick stitch, that girl is just
she does fun patterns.
She does.
You know,
She's
lots
so
of
good
fun,
with patterning.
playful patterning.
They're really good. This is a still kind of a riff on our dancer earring that she loves. And then this was a riff on Janice's O Peyote, which was great as well.
Yeah.
Great. And then her little closure, you can see the
details.
swivel on the chain with the wire wrap piece and that little Hamza. Beautiful. Great. Let's keep.
And this one, I think everybody saw this one before.
Yes,
so.
and you have it right there. Just
I
pull it in
have it,
because
yeah.
it's sitting there.
We have it here.
Dance of the Damselfly, gorgeous, and of course with our dear friend. That's a Cynthia Thornton.
Cynthia.
Yes, from Green Girl. We have her pieces there, and this is a Cynthia button. This is nice. We should maybe get this button
I know you
in.
should. I
is a
have
nice
all
one.
of her buttons.
Look
so
at that little goldfish.
I love
Well,
to
maybe we
share
should-
them. Yeah.
Yes, maybe we should grab it. It's
All her
it's a good
buttons
one.
are great.
Yeah. And this colorway, I just love it. This was the first monthly mix that you did for us, and it's such a good one. And notice again how Allie, you guys, there's
Changes.
Yeah, changes. The leather change in here that I wanted to point out. It changes 3 times, right?
3 different leathers.
Here.
3 different sea lines.
So if you guys get the, it's a lot of leather bags. You don't have to have a whole 4
it's
yard
just a short
piece, right? Just a short piece, because you can change it up. Here you can see the 3 different leather. Gorgeous. Sherry's saying she absolutely loves it. We absolutely love it too. And this is a bead that we carry. Beth, you're asking, this is one of ours, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
It's the Dragonfly Pebble. We have it right here. We carry a really great selection of Green Girl beads and charms. So it's there.
Yes.
Under Green Girl.
I love using
So it's
them.
there. Yep. And you have a little ring from Cynthia too.
I do.
Isn't that
this is
charming?
my Cynthia ring
Yeah.
too. I
So
just
good.
love her stuff.
Yeah. She's good. Yes. So we love you, Sen, so much. Danielle's the April still from the April mix.
She had a lot of uses for that. She did a lot of pieces in the April mix.
Again with that dragonfly bead, and then some color blocking here, gorgeous. And you can, it looks like
she did bits and pieces like the crochet, the floats,
and the brick stitch earring, really gorgeous. I love it. I love this piece. I love them all. I keep saying that. Don't I say that for every single one? I love this piece. Well, I love this piece.
This one was to use the lapis, and I thought it went perfectly with Janice's mix.
Right. So this was Janice's.
I think the mix right before
Ocean View.
Ocean View.
And look what Ellie did with the bugles.
Well, you can just make little beaded components, I think. The one thing I liked about this, it was very lightweight, even though you could use some gemstones, some larger 8 millimeter ones, some, this one's an 8 millimeter, or even a 10.
10, right.
And it not be heavy,
right.
Because you take the sea beads.
And make them into
beads.
This is something that Janice is addressing at our bead retreat. Janice is doing one of her breakout sessions. She calls them tassel beads, and she's going to talk about how we do that. And we will do this on a bead shop live later. So it's
what
good.
That's all about.
Yeah, and look at this one right here with those little open work, those little bugles. It's gorgeous. And again, this is from Cynthia, and this is one that we carry as well. This one is called.
Is it Grateful Heart or something? Do I even have it on there?
Grateful.
I probably forgot it.
Well, it is Grateful Heart. It's on there.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's there. So you'll find it there. Not a. I love this. Don't think. Thinking is the enemy of creativity.
Exactly.
That's
you
right.
know, if you think too hard or you overthink it, I see people overthinking it all the time.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck.
Yeah, and this is really, we've been talking about creative blocks and that kind of thing, so that's a great one. Bollywood Glitz, it's here, and I am going to dedicate a whole live broadcast to this, if you don't mind, sometime in the future.
No, I don't want to fall into that.
You know how I feel about a wrap, and I will tell you. This, I think, really, I don't know, I want to say showcases, or each one of these sections could be a bracelet that stands on its own.
Right, even a single wrap.
Yeah, and it kind of harkens, it kind of has the feeling of our 5-stitch, it has the feeling of our Bollywood, it has the feeling of almost even poetry, stuff like that. Emily did kind of a riff on this on the 3D macrame.
Right.
So it all kind of comes together in this amazing piece. So I just love the way this looks. This, you have the rice beads. Janice did this on the prairie where we went over the top and did some weaving of the beads over the top of that 5 millimeter leather. This has kind of that metallic look that I love, and then this here,
it's more of a 3D.
Come back the 3D kind of a feel to it with the rice bead.
Right.
This may be my favorite. I don't know. It's my favorite bead piece.
I just wanted a dressy
way,
you know,
to
so wear out, because most of the wrap bracelets are pretty cash. So this one's like, you can really get dolled up with that one.
No, it is, and we can. If I were on the red carpet. I could wear this.
You could wear that on the red carpet, absolutely.
And again, the pink, it is so out of my comfort zone.
Pink.
So out of my comfort zone, but I just adore it. It's just
so go
gorgeous.
out of your comfort zone, because you never know.
Yeah, I know. It's making me a little anxious, but in a good way, in a creative good way. We're not afraid.
No, we're not.
One of Faye's classics.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Faye shared her version of how she does her wrap. It's in the files over in our bead table group.
Yes.
She did a great tutorial on it. And she also, gained some of her inspiration from our West County cuff.
Yes.
Faye is the queen of a cuff. It's great. And I love this. I love the rice beads, how you use those, Faye. And look at how she used in the last row the half tileless.
Yeah, tied it all together.
All together. It's really gorgeous. Again, when I finished my West County cuff, I was sitting at my desk. I could literally feel Karen breathing down my neck from her office behind the wall. Her office behind mine. And I could just feel her telepathically going, Kate, will you just finish this?
Finished.
So I would have, I want to remake mine because there's some things that I want to change to it. But this is really inspirational. I just love kind of that textural, architectural kind of addition of that. Yeah, I love it. It's great. Adventures in Green. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And then what Faye says here, Kate and Janice provided me with a new love of the color green, and I thank them both for awakening a color that I thought I would really use, let alone wear. And what Janice always says about greens is every green goes with every other green.
And they do.
Yeah, they do. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. The tiered rice combo, or tied rice combo, so beautiful. This was very similar. It has that Bollywood feel to it. 3D.
Bollywood.
Yeah. It's great.
Just simple, but effective.
Yeah, really gorgeous. I love it. Really nice job, Kim. Ooh, we printed a blank sheet. And I hope we didn't miss, I'm going to just check the book to make sure I didn't miss a, I thought I had it up here.
This is great.
Yeah, here I did. Let's see, I'm sliding through. No, I didn't miss anything. Now this one, Allie, Green Goddess, we're going to take a pause here because we're also going to do a little bit of a demo here too. So, you wore this last time you were here.
I did. Yeah, it was a sneak peek.
Yes.
just to kind of see if anybody, liked the idea, if it was something to pursue.
And boy, did they.
And I think they did. Yeah. I think it sort of changes the look of the pie. The pies are great, but they're just kind of simple. And this little technique right in here sort of
really dresses it up.
Yeah.
And what I like to think about the pie or the semi-precious disc, we also call it, or we call it,
or donut.
You can call it
donut.
A bunch of things. It is the perfect background for showcasing. One of my classics that I do way back in the day was that Wild About Wire class we used to do when beadshop.com was a brick and mortar store in Palo Alto. So this was for me the perfect palette or the perfect blank canvas for wire work. And so if you go back to, I did it, I don't know, a while back. Brandwin's laughing because she goes, yep, you gave me one of those 20 years ago, or you made one.
You made us.
I made you made one.
We all had to make them.
We did.
Kate making.
Yes, we made those. That's right. And if you look on the broadcast, the stone disc broadcast, I think Brandwin, you brought those in and we showed it. So yeah, so it's a classic for sure. So, we're gonna play around with how we put this together because you also did this. Flash this back. Kim's saying that she thinks her project was over. I love Kim this project. I do not think it was overly simple at all. I just adore it. So you just pipe that down. I adore it. I love it.
Yes.
And so you guys remember that you can find our lookbook if you're just joining us. If you go over to beadshop.com, you go to, you can just type in the search bar Creative Journey and it'll
should pop up.
But if you are on the website, you go under Projects, you scroll down, you'll see Lookbook Collection, you'll click on that and it's in the #1 position, top left, and you can just download it as a PDF or send it to your e-reader, or as some of you are doing it, print it. So however you want to do it. Though everything is linked. So if you do have the PDF, it's all linkable. So you can see here, Allie did that same cool thing over the top. And so we thought that kind of midway, we would do a little demo for you. you know, I always talk to my mom when my mom's gonna laugh because she knows what story I'm gonna say. I talk to my mom sometimes driving on speakerphone, hands-free, but I'm driving home, and I talk to her, and so I was talking to her a little bit yesterday as I was driving about, you know, Lookbook and Allie's coming, and she said, well, you are going to demo something, aren't you? And I said, yeah, Ma, don't worry, we'll demo something. So, Gwenda, this is dedicated to you, this demo. So, tell me a little bit about the products we're going to use, Allie.
Well, you start out with the donut.
And this is our big one, our 40 millimeter.
Right, the 40 millimeter. You could use a 30 if you wanted a smaller piece. I think that the size, scale-wise, this is a good size. We use fire polish, works really well for that part that you're adding to the donut.
And that's our brand new one.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's Picasso Golden Rod. Yes, in the 6 millimeter. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, always 6 millimeter. It seems the size works out really well with the donuts. And then you just use a smaller, like a seed bead or anything in a, small. And then for the rest of the necklace, I just, we used rice beads. I used regular.
Like an 8 millimeter.
8 millimeter, that type of thing.
That was the rice and the red aventurine, and then we have the yellow jade. Here.
I added shadows. You could do copper, brass, mix up
Whatever
your
works.
metals, whatever works.
And then you've chosen some threads.
Now, some threads, what you could do, if you want it to be more monotone, you would use something, closer.
And this one was nutmeg?
That's nutmeg.
And this is Ceylon in fine?
In fine.
Did you use regular or fine for yours?
I probably used regular.
Okay.
I tend to do that if I can, but you struggle a little bit because you're trying to get some of them you're getting 3 strands through,
right.
and it's a little bit hard.
So you could use the regular Ceylon here, but the fine is pretty close.
Yeah, I think if you used a larger, instead of the small 8s, if you use something a little larger, like I did on the green one, I used the larger.
That larger red.
Then you could probably, use it.
So what other thread choices have you chosen?
If you wanted something a little brighter to catch, you could use this light copper.
I love the light copper.
Or if you want a real contrast, then, you could go with the brown.
Yeah, I love it.
Any color, there's so many. It's
and this light copper is one of your favorite. Don't you use this a lot?
I use it a lot. I use a lot of gold and olives.
Gold is the one is your big.
Yeah, olives. And what is it? Olivine.
Olivine, yeah.
With gold.
So you're going to coach me, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this together, because why not? Brandon, would you pass me some little cups from some little dishes from over there?
Cut those apart.
So we've got our red aventurine piece here, the disc, and then this 6 millimeter goldenrod, which is what we've got here. So I know, Janice, you're going to gasp, but I am going to cut these up. So sorry, JP, but let's jump in. And so the 6 mil, you only need 1 strand, Ellie, is that right?
Yes, 1 strand should be fine. I mean, unless you wanted to make it really huge.
Right, really huge. Whoops. There we go. I'll just take that many off for now. And then you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 on that one, and then I
units.
did 5 on this. So there's your difference. You can kind of see.
And so if you were doing this one here with this many, it's individual strands that are then doubled over, right? So how long?
Yeah, they're each. Yeah, they're.
How long should I cut this? My thread?
It's going to go all the way through. So as long as you want your necklace, and you've got to plan how much macrame you're doing.
Right.
So there is no.
So I might cut at least this. I'm just going to give it just like a double measurement here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see what that is, and then I actually might double that over. Let me see.
And you can always add in later
Yeah,
if you're too short. You really can.
I would cut maybe about 40, 50, maybe 60 inches of thread, I think, to double.
I mean, I'm always liberal with my threads, so.
I'm going to cut these short so I can work with them.
Yes.
So I'm only going to cut like 30 inches.
You're not going to go all the way, so.
No. and then fold it over. So let me get that out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to cut these. So how many, so I'm going to cut that length.
And then you just start knotting them on there with, you know, like a lark's head. And so you
Oh, a lark's head knot is on there.
Yeah.
I thought they went that, okay.
So it's doubled over. That gives you each one.
And lark's head
Lark's
knot.
head knot.
And so I'm also, I should have turned this on earlier, but I didn't.
Oh, to straighten it.
Yeah, our little straightener. You know, I saw that our buddy Alice is watching.
Mm,
This was a
yeah.
trick that I learned from Alice.
Alice at the bead retreat.
At the bead retreat, and I'm going to show you guys 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see how I just kind of do this in real time. I just go back and forth and do this. And this is the light copper.
Light copper.
And again, we have a pretty big selection of Ceylon on beadshop.com. And this is the fine.
Yes.
But you could use regular.
You can. Depends on the size of bead holes. And
Now, you can see, there's my, look at my thread, how jumbled this thread is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this. I found this tiny, at the not the hardware store, the drugstore. I found this little tiny crimping iron, you guys. And watch. This is an Alice trick that I learned at the bead retreat.
And it's perfect.
And look, it's perfect. Let's just do it again. And Kim is saying she's learned recently that however long you think you need to cut your thread,
Go longer.
add 6 inches. It's so true. I just cut 30 inches of this, but this is in no way long enough. I just wanted to have thread that was manageable because this will not probably be incomplete, but or be completed. But I could always add.
Yes,
Adding thread is easy.
You can add it in,
Right?
especially when you're macrame.
Yeah.
And your initial guess was about 60?
About 60, probably. And this would work great for taming tassel legs, that is for sure. I have my big straightening iron. I brought it in from home. I rarely use it, so I brought it here. But it's so big, it's kind of hard to manipulate. So when I was at the drugstore the other day, this was just...
That's handy.
This was by where they had all the travel size stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, is
Perfect.
this a travel size
It is.
straightening iron? I am in.
Perfect.
So I don't know, it wasn't very much, and so I just picked it up. So
No,
look,
that's-
there it all is.
there
I did
you
it in
are.
real time. It was kind of fun. And now I'm going to turn it off so I don't forget to do that.
That's
Right.
perfect.
And, okay, so you told me lark's heads, right?
Yes.
I'm going to put this over here. So I'm going to come through, so we're going to fold our thread in half.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put that in through.
You do that as many times as you want.
As I have strands.
Strands. Mm-hmm.
So here's, and you don't tie a knot or anything else.
No,
Right.
no, the beads will catch in. And that's just to hold it pretty much while you're doing it.
What I'm going to do here,
Hold it out.
and I'm going to do this in fast Kate time, so bear with me here, you guys. And we use a lot of tape here at beadshop.com. We always have. And we want to make sure that this...
They're not tangled.
Right, and that they're coming up the correct way. So...
That they're all the same.
yeah, they're facing the same way, the lark's head. So there's the second one. Here's the third one. And see how I'm just putting the little loop through and tightening it down. And let me get that tape, because, am I doing this right, Ellen?
That's perfect.
I want to make sure that this, with all of these threads, these are, I think I cut them 30 inches for just this little practice. About, let me just measure again. I could be wrong. No, yeah, about 30 inches.
Yeah, because by the time you loop it.
Yeah, I loop it through and stuff. Okay. And people are asking about the travel iron. Yeah, it gets hot, but it doesn't burn the thread. It's just like using kind of like a regular ironing, iron. It gets hot, but you're not clamping it over the thread and letting it sit.
You keep it moving.
Yeah, you keep it moving and it won't burn. So it's really fine. You know what? We need one of our tape dispensers we have a million tape dispensers here, but I have the broken one, so here we go. Yeah, I just turned it on. I didn't pay any attention to, it doesn't have a setting or anything. So you don't want to keep the iron over the thread. You just want to iron it like you would a tablecloth or whatever it is you iron these days.
Or not.
Or not, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so here's all 5 of my pieces there.
So there's two choices you can have to start stringing on. You can string on the fire polish, or you can do like this where you string on the smaller beads. So you can either or. I did both ways.
Yeah.
It comes out the same.
Right, and so you can see them from there. So there's with the fire polish, and there's with the smaller ones. Since the fire polish are big, I'm going to use the fire polish.
Okay.
So it looks, Allie, like what you did. I'm going to have the 2 outermost ones are strung through one, right there.
Each one is strung on the first row. You're going to
each one
double.
Gotcha.
Double.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this one down.
Yes, and then you just tighten them up to the
and this one down.
That's why it's a little easier with the find.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get the regular through, but you might have to use a needle.
Yeah, and you could also make your little zap
your
needles.
ends.
Come on, that first one sailed through. There we go. Who's the boss? Who's the boss of these beads? And if you guys are having trouble with the feed on Facebook, jump over to our feed on YouTube. You can also watch it on our website during the broadcast. If you're watching it on replay, it's not on there. But if you go to, I think it's the Facebook Live page, Karen embeds it right at the top of the page. So you don't see the chat, but you do see the broadcast, and it's a nice strong signal. So if you're not so much into the chat and you don't need to see the comments, watching it on our website itself is also a great way to do it. So here's our 5s. Okay.
So you got all.
There's my other strand. There it is.
All 5 on.
So all 5 on. So now what do I do?
Okay. So now you're going to add the.
We're going to add some 8/0.
We need to give you some 8/0.
All right. Let's do it. Okay.
So, a couple ways you can do this too. It's not, it isn't in concrete. You can add the in between. I like to start in the middle.
Oh, and work your way out.
And you're alternating. So you're going to split the threads and run the 2 through an 8/0.
So I've split. So I'm actually going to start. I'll start here. If this is my middle.
Yeah, I tend to start in the middle and I
I'll
work
split
my
it
way
out.
so that it's even.
Okay.
It stays even that way.
So let me get it here, and we'll get it nice and tight for you guys. So here's, I just hold my threads together. Then I'll put the beads on, and then I'll move so you guys can see what's going. Of course, we got these 8/0 that are hollow. Allie,
and it catches.
But I got it. Come on, there's a little bit of. I sent you that orange cord. You give me these hollow 8/0.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I've got it. No, I'm just teasing you. So see how these 2, one strand from that guy, one strand from that guy.
That's what you're doing. You're alternating.
And see how this comes right up.
Yep.
And it just cinches down.
And you can even, I found, you could even knot that too. You could do
I
a little
could,
macrame
sure.
if you wanted to hold it.
Hold it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these on and then I'll tighten everything up.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to do
you...
this at Kate speed. So, oh yeah, we're doing fine on time. All of a sudden it's like 3 o'clock and I'm still
I
stringing
know, we're
beads.
still making this one necklace.
Right. So see how I deal with these hollow A-dots, okay? This, I put my A-dot on my finger and I pull the thread.
Exactly what I do.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I pull the thread almost down and out of the way.
It gives you room. you
Gives
know.
me room, and then that other piece of seal-on goes sailing through, just like that. Okay, so this one goes down.
Yeah, and you just continue alternating like that.
Yeah,
And you can do as many rows as you want.
Mhm.
A large and small, large and small.
So there's that one. Here's this one. Let me do this one over
I
here.
think it's just creating a mesh.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. That's right. Let's see. Get this one through. I love the metal A-dot beads.
I do too. I use them all the time.
Yeah, it's really good. And this one here.
It's going to give you grief, so.
There we
probably
go.
should've-
No, don't worry.
Okay.
I
You can
like
do
a
it.
challenge.
You can do it.
And then I'll do this one over here. Michelle, if you're having trouble or if you're not seeing it,
It's probably me a little
Off?
bit too.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
having some trouble following you.
oh,
It's
sorry,
my bad.
Bren. There we go.
I realized that I was looking at something and the camera was looking at something else.
No problem. We've got it remedied. The joy of a live broadcast. Sometimes I hold them double and I just put them on that way too. Okay. So let me just slide this down. Okay. So you said you do some knots.
You can.
Like you could.
I didn't on this,
Mhm.
but you could. I think I did on,
Yeah.
on this one.
I'm going to, just to hold everything together.
You can.
And this.
You know, again, it's
And
your
this.
preference if
Mhm.
you prefer it to be that way.
And I'm just going to knot that
But
down.
it does hold it nicely.
Mhm. So here's that. And you could also,
Yep.
there we go.
There you
so
go.
that one's
See how
done.
it tightens it up?
It
nice?
does really nicely.
Yeah.
Let me do this, because then we can hold it up and you guys can
And
really
then you're
see
just
it.
seeing how you create a mesh, and you
Mhm.
just keep going.
Now you could also use your awl, and this is just like a pearl
Mhm.
knot.
Mhm.
Oops,
It is. You could do the same.
don't go in there. Go down. I'm in charge of you. There we go.
Right.
This is another one of those projects where you take a little breath, I think, in between when you make the sections.
Mm-hmm.
Take a little stop for a moment, and after you've completed this one, rest on your laurels, okay?
Be happy you made it through.
Yeah. There we go. That one gets tightened, and we'll tighten this one.
Yeah, so you can kind of see how that's going together.
Now, let's, slip back down there. Knot, there we go. There it goes. And I think maybe even starting with shorter thread
Could
and
be.
adding.
Yeah.
May.
Just adding later.
Let's see if I can walk that knot down a little bit. Okay, so let me get all these threads out of the way, and you can see, you guys, this one is a little high. If this were real bead making time and not
Live.
YouTube or Bead Shop Live time, but I'll show you one of the ways. If I haven't, it's a good learning moment. If I have this knot and it's not in exactly the place that I want it to be, okay? See how I've gotten my chain nose plier? You can also do this with your knotting tweezer. And you give it a little bit of a wiggle.
It loosens it.
It'll loosen it up, because what we always would say in stringing class is, if you know how to tie a knot, you better learn how to untie
Untie.
it.
I love that.
Right? So just see, so I've opened it up.
Yeah.
No big deal, no tears,
Oh, that's great.
no curses. A little bit of curses, but only in my head. There we go.
And made it better.
And made it better. So you can always doctor that sucker up just a little. So now that's tight. Because I think the beauty of this piece is when everything really sits nice and
together,
tightly.
right.
So see this one again. And this is, you guys, can you tell? I haven't practiced this.
Well,
What
I
a
have
surprise.
to tell you, and I have to admit, I had to do it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
So I'm not alone.
No, that's why when you said you were going to demo, I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right.
This ought to be interesting. But
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing like jumping in.
But it just shows you we all go through, you know, before it's perfected.
Right, exactly. And see how you just wiggle it. You just say, hey,
So
knot.
yeah, this is a great learning thing on how to adjust.
How to adjust and unknot it. Get that all right in where the knot crosses and undo it. So it's no big deal. And this seal-on, especially the regular and the fine, can take a lot of
It's tough.
finagling.
Yeah, it's tough stuff.
So I'm going to loosen it up. I don't want to do this again incorrectly. So let me open that up. There we go. I hope you guys aren't too bored watching me back there, but out there in bead land. But so see how we just really want to pull it down like that. There we go. And I'm just going to walk that knot right on down. Right on down. I said I'm going to walk that knot. There we go. Yes, Janice does call the tweezers unknotting tweezers. And see, I've got some slack in that knot now, and everything is positioned correctly, so I can tighten it and it walks down.
That's a good learning tool right there.
Exactly.
Just to see.
And so see how they're all coming together. And so now next, Allie, let's put the other row on. And
So
let's
now
see what
you're
it looks
going
like.
back to
the big
right,
ones.
Now there's 2 ways you can do it. On the outside thread, you can leave it to the outside and not string it through. Or on this one, I ran it through.
Oh, okay.
So you can do it either way.
Okay.
Now it'll be harder with the metal beads to get all 3 through, so you're not going to want to do it that way.
So I'll just put the...
So you leave.
So I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd leave it on the outside.
Got it. So I'm going to...
So
I
start
get
in the
outside.
middle again.
Oh, start in the middle.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to start on the edge.
Yeah, start in the middle again. So
I'm going to
that you're
start in the middle,
straight.
you guys. So here's the middle. And I'm going to split these threads.
Just opposite again of what you did.
Right. So here's my middle. And here are these 2. It looks like I take these 2.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm netting. So I'm going to just put this 6 mil in. And you can vary, you know, when we're not trying to recreate this or whatever, you can put, oh look, that looks better already. And then one more over here, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you just recreate your first row, so you're going to have exactly what you've got on the first row.
So I'm going to put that in. Okay. And this one here, I'm just going to, that'll close that up. These 2. So it's like little bricks that are in the wall that are, you know, what do they call that? Counterbalance, alternating. Yeah.
Back and forth.
Back and forth there. These 6mm fire polish have a really nice
they're gorgeous.
hole. That's good. I'm going to go to this one. Right here. There's a lot of love for those knotting tweezers. I'm not sure what I do without them. Right. And then this last one over here.
Yep. So you've recreated your first row. And you do that as many times
and you just go back and forth.
And then you end up splitting it at some point where you want your 2 strands to go off.
I'm going to tie these across and then we'll look at it. Sometimes I knot the best with just my fingers and no tweezers or all. And split the threads and tighten. If you want a primer on purl knotting, you guys, and I don't want this to be too tight, we purl knot so many different ways here on Bead Shop. I've done my version, Janice has done her version, Emily has done her version. If you go back through our live broadcasts, you'll see many a broadcast that talks about floats and knotting and all of those things. So this is a good basic to have in your arsenal. Someone was saying the other day one of their favorite broadcasts were when Janice and I did the wire work versus purl knotting, and Janice made everybody vote to say what was her favorite. What was her favorite between knotting and voting? It was really funny. It was so funny.
That's very.
So can you see, you guys, how this, not bad for my first try, I think.
Oh, like I said, it took me 2 or 3 tries to get it straight.
And I could even, Ellie, if I wanted to see less thread here, I could put an 11-aught there and there.
You could.
Right?
You can add in beads. You don't have to knot. I think in this one I did not.
Right, you just strung.
And then I just pushed them all, down.
Right, strung it and push it down
until I got to where I'm separating and they were all tight. There's a lot of variety that you can do with that.
And if you push them all down, if you don't knot them, they'll come out maybe a little more evenly as you push them. You can see my knots. That one's a little uneven,
it's just
but I'm not
practicing on that. But that is the principle. It's just you're creating the net.
So again, for my next row, I'd use the 8/aughts, and I'd start in the middle, bring the 2 from these guys together under the 8/aughts, and then work your way out.
And then work your way out. And like I said, size whatever you want.
And then with these 5, since you have an odd number, I would split my threads out, right? And so here I'd have 2, 4, 5 on one side, 2, 4, 5 on the other.
Right.
And then what you did was you came in and brought them under some of the shadow beads.
Bring them through because there's large holes you can bring through. And then you may have to remove some of the
Reduce
threads,
some thread.
you know, at some points. And that's where the macrame comes in because it's easy to reduce things.
Right. And you could just come in and, start to do like the poetry, the flat.
See, because I think I only kept 4 really throughout.
Going up. So here you've probably reduced some.
2 or 3 because I had 7, so,
And just glue them down and macrame over.
And macrame over and just keep on going. So it's really versatile. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And don't be, frustrated the first time because it's not that easy to get them all straight. It does take a little doing.
But it was fun to do even this practice.
It is.
Yeah, if I do this again, and I will, what I'll do is I think I would bring this. I don't know if I'd tie the knots. I tied the knots so that you guys can
watch how it's
watch. Yeah, it makes me kind of rein everything in as I'm going. But if you string it so it's all loose and then pull it all down and then maybe make one knot there and one knot there, your netting and everything I think would be a little more even.
Adjust it, better. But it really is a fun way to create some interest.
Yeah.
With a fire polish.
Yeah, it's really great. And this would also, we were talking about, this would make a great bracelet for a center, especially if you use the 30mm disc. But you could even do this, have the 40mm do kind of in a big center and then go around. It would be a great one
to try that.
A necklace. It would be great. It'd be really fun. I love it. This would also be cool if this is all one side of stringing over here, and then you could do a multiple strand of something even completely different
on the other side.
Over on this side here, like that. So I love asymmetrical pieces, so it's great.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Okay.
We should be able to do a lot with that.
Yeah, it's great. So I really wanted you guys to be able to see that. Any other, we're starting to wind down a little bit, but I want to show you guys, we'll just kind of thumb through this pretty quickly here. And again, you guys can download your own copy of this. Here's Blueberry Glam. This has the wheat chain in it, which is great. And Faye made some of her own
she did.
clasps in this one.
Oh, wow.
And this one was the Free Tip Friday making clasps and components, as well as the Soft Flex 101. Faye, I'm glad you took that to heart. Hooray.
She did.
It's great.
She did.
It's great. Really pretty. Simple and subtle summer float. One of my favorite ways to deal with a float is to make it kind of a lariat style,
Yes.
like what Kim did there. One of my favorites. So simple, elegant. The project was called Past and Present, and I did some fun things with that. And Kim, you strung this on, she strung it on regular Ceylon. You could also string this on our Griffin silk.
The silk would
Mhm.
be great.
And we didn't have, I don't think we had the Griffin, or maybe we were just getting the Griffin silk when I did that. But it's really nice with the Ceylon. Oh, I see someone lurking outside.
Somebody's coming to visit.
And his name is Alfred T. Pickles. We'll see what happens. Shoreline, beautiful. Again,
Yeah. I like that.
simple. Look at the earring, the looped earring, and the flat macrame going around the loop.
She actually did it on soft flex and then macrame
Over
it.
the soft
Yeah,
flex.
to
So
hide it.
smart to
Yeah.
hide it.
Mhm.
This trails end kind of closure that we have. It's really great. I love it. And I love this quote, creativity is contagious, pass it on. That's what we're doing
Yeah.
right
just
now.
Had so much fun with that.
And this one is inspired on a little trip that she and her husband, after they went to the bead retreat. Yeah.
They went on vacation.
Went on vacation. Yeah, we're going to miss you this year, Kim, but
Yes.
next year, you'll come next year. We'll miss you, both you and your husband. Beautiful. I love you, Malas. We love you too, Malas.
Oh, so cute.
Really beautiful, Danielle. And all of the listing is here. And she used the different colors, and then her son named it.
Yeah.
I Love You, Malas is gorgeous. Really beautiful. Great job. You guys have seen this.
We've seen that.
The
That's
chorus.
on the, right.
Yes,
That's
and
here
we have
in person.
we have it in our goddess bracelets.
Yes, it's in the projects. But these were with those gorgeous pearls. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
they're fantastic.
Those pink ones.
Yeah.
That I don't know. We may or may not have those anymore. I need to check. But we have so many freshwater pearls
there's beautiful
that you guys
pearls.
can use, and of course the rose button from.
And the different with the leather loop,
Mhm.
you know, that's what makes it so different.
It
and
really is
unique.
great. Yeah, I love this one. The goddess bracelets are so nice. We have a whole bunch of them. For the love of purple,
This is
indeed.
beautiful.
And this one was inspired by designing a cuff and then using the Crimson Guardians. This Cleo clasp that we carry, I just love.
Yes.
And your color choices in here, Kim, are beautiful. And your choice of chain, really, really, really nice.
So pretty.
Oh, I love this purple drops from Kate's tray at the bead retreat.
Yes. Remember the tray that we
I love
give
it.
and take.
Yes,
we
it's
have
so
to give and you
funny.
can take.
I love it. We are. Oh, it looks like the Facebook I think had a glitch, but it's running, isn't it?
I've had many problems. I keep
Okay.
getting kicked off Facebook,
Okay.
so I'm
Yeah.
actually
Sorry, you guys.
just-
It's running.
I go
but
back and forth
I'm
and back
sorry.
and forth, and I get kicked off, and
Sorry
I go
about
back
that.
to YouTube, and then I see they say closer, and I'm like, oh well, I think I got closer already.
Sorry
so
about that. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, that's so funny. I'm bringing the trays again this year.
Yes, gotta have that
Yes,
tray.
don't you worry. I'm bringing 2 trays to the bead retreat. It's great. This one, Water Garden, gorgeous.
This is with the drops, like you said. What do you do with drops?
I know. I did. I just chucked those drops right your way.
She chucked them in there, and I looked at that and I said, "Really? What do we do with that?" So there you go. You can kind of have fun with it.
When this one came, when you left this one the last time, so you guys, this is, and I'll turn it around so you can see. You start it like you do the Bollywood, and this is just the center. The English cut goes on the center,
Right.
and then the 8
Flip it
odds.
around.
Yep, the drops, they come back. So look at how easy, I mean, it's an easy project.
It's super easy and fast.
With a lot of impact.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Really good. Really, really good.
And you can make it really colorful too, because the drops and the English cuts, you know,
Are
and the
so
CBs.
nice. Yeah, really, really nice. And this also would make a great center as a necklace.
It would.
And then come up and string.
You'd have just that portion. Yeah.
The beautiful wheel buttons. We have some wheel buttons left, and we're getting more in, but again, these come in and out. So when you see these big check glass buttons, if you love them, grab them. Janice is partial to this bracelet.
Oh.
Doesn't surprise me, JP.
Those
has that green that you love it.
Are incredible for bracelets.
And then we've got vintage seashore. Look at this with some of our vintage finds. Beautiful.
Fun. Use the chips too.
Yes, the chips. She used the Never Stop Growing project, the Stretch Therapy project. So this is on stretch. You know, I have a broadcast coming up in a few weeks that's going to be a deep dive into elastic.
Oh.
So I'm going to play around with a lot of different tricks and stuff from elastic. So it's great. It'll be great. And if there's enough interest, Lynn was asking about this bracelet. I know that a lot of people I know are going to ask about it. Maybe we'll put this on for a Facebook Live, because I think you guys would love it. So thanks for, I'll put that on my Facebook Live schedule. Stormwatch. Kim, when I saw this, I loved it.
Beautiful. Really
beautiful. And you strung again on hematite tough cord number 1. Macrame. You used the double drill.
She did.
One of the best uses of the double drills. And I just love the way they look. Really good. Drops, double drills, really gorgeous. A lush tassel.
And her rectangle was real gray, real pale gray, so that's what kind of inspired
this. It's really good. Really, really nice. And then I love you guys did such great names. A Simple Twist of Faye. Perfect Faye. Her wire work on this bead is a perfect just a perfect way to showcase some of her wire work right here, which is wonderful. I think it really looks great.
Very colorful.
Gorgeous. And then we have Find Me in the Garden. This was also Faye's. Beautiful.
And this was being creative, the epitome of the word, because she had her vintage find was crooked.
Oh,
it was off.
Good job.
You know, there was like a flaw. So
right.
She sends me a picture like, what do I do with this?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Faye, next time just email me and say, Kate, send me another one.
I'm
my goodness.
Do what I do, glue something over the top. So anyway, she created this little component area, and you would never know the difference.
No, you would never know.
It turned out beautiful.
Yeah. But know that, you guys, you can always contact us if something's wrong. I'm sorry, Faye, I didn't quality control that very well for you. It's my fault. But it's great. This is glued over. This comes through. It's gorgeous.
You know, so it's like, it's a perfectly good stone. It's just odd.
Yeah, and it really looks great on that.
Really pretty.
On that necklace. Stone Creek set. Beautiful. Great with this, the carved pie.
Real pretty.
Yeah,
she had a pretty
really, really nice. And then we've got here black mandala. Gorgeous. Again with that kind of layering of those Ashanti saucers. And then of course we end up, your vintage collage is here.
The vintage is here with the, people were asking a lot of questions with the, again, craftsman components. Learned from Emily.
Sorry, my tape is all on there, you guys, but you'll be all right with that. Gypsy leather you used.
Yes, how fun is that?
Very.
Where you can just see what colors end up, you know, you don't know. Mine happened to end up the same, but
with those walnuts,
with the walnuts to give it a little body.
And look at how you closed it off. See how The button is attached here with those overhand knots, and then closed off here with the macrame.
It's kind of fun. You can use a lot of wire with the vintage pieces.
That's beautiful.
I never
that feather
knew what
dance.
to do with that, and it can be a nice component.
Really nice. The wire wrapping.
All the different little vintage pieces that.
And then this is just a good say something closure. And I love how you just plugged up the hole with a piece of leather.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. This is a really great piece.
So we made it.
Stunner. We did it. We visited every single page. You're like, and now, scene. I'm done with it. You can put this to bed, Allie Maury. You never have to look at this again. It was so good. You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this extravaganza into our creative journey lookbook. So Brandon, let's move that camera back around.
I can figure out how to do this without.
There we go. And I don't know, there was a
go
kitty
get
cat
it.
around, but
He did
I'm
come.
not sure. Maybe he'll come if I call him Alfred. Alfred. Maybe he'll come,
I can go take a
I don't know.
peek while
Maybe.
you guys
and we can say goodbye.
do a good little.
See if he
We can see if he's around.
Oops, sorry.
He's been. You see him, Chris?
No, you need. I'll find it.
Yeah, Chris will find him. Well, he'll say goodbye to us.
Yes.
There we go. Well, we have had.
So I'm just running right
again,
behind him.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I don't know, 1 million
So
times.
welcome. No,
Right? It was so good.
Our pleasure.
It was so good. Grab that feather before we get the Alfie. I think Lynn has a quick question about it.
Cannot have this to be straight.
All you did was you just started, right? The wrapping.
To start wrapping.
Just start wrapping around. So wrap, keep adding.
Create a
Yeah.
wired wrap there.
So you put your beads on a wire there. Wrap. And then the loop on the bottom.
So I just stuck I put that tight over the tip of the feather. Created a wire.
And just created a wire loop.
wrap there.
Yeah. And so you can see how it's just a nice.
3 counts.
So it's really the epitome of freeform. Maybe I'll show you guys. Do I have anything scheduled for Free Tip Friday?
Maybe a Friday you can do some
This week?
components.
If I don't, I'll look and I'll do the feather on Free Tip Friday. I bet I don't have anything. Maybe I do though. I'll see. But it'll come up on a Free Tip Friday, Lynn. So hold that thought, okay? But I'll double check and make sure. So let's.
Bring
Alfred
that,
looks really very handsome.
bring that boy over.
He was very good to. You got to meet that. There's.
He is so sweet.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He is. He's the best.
He is. There he is.
He's the best.
Say hi to everybody. And I will see you. So thank you again. I could not say enough thank yous.
So
I can't say enough thank yous to you. Alfred knows it's lunchtime, right? He says. He says it's time for lunch, Mama. I will see you guys Friday for Free Tip Friday. We have some fun things that Allie and I cooked up today a little bit earlier. You've got a great kitty cat view.
I know.
Don't show everyone your
best
tail.
view.
Your tail, Alfred.
The best
No one wants
view.
to see that.
So great.
That's right. And we will see you guys. I'll see you guys Friday for Free Tip Friday. Allie will be back with us, I'm sure, again for the fall lookbook, I hope.
Absolutely.
And I'll see you in just a couple weeks at the
We
Bead
will.
Retreat.
Yeah, we will be having a good time.
It'll be so good. And
This is not working.
thank you. And poor Brandon working
She's
with the
holding the
camera.
camera.
We'll just Allie can just sign off. That's
Alfie.
perfect. And after Alfie did it. Well, thank you. Always. All right. We'll see you
You're
soon.
welcome.
We'll see you guys soon as well.